From RedZone Weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Megginson. A severe weather update starts right now.
For the first time in a long time, we have a severe weather risk setting up in the overnight hours. Storms happening now across parts of Mississippi and Louisiana, and those are set to move across Alabama and northwest Florida overnight into Tuesday. Let's go ahead and go to our graphic system. Hope you're having a great Monday evening. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. Thanks for tuning in to check out what's going to happen in the overnight hours. And what's going to happen is potentially a few tornadoes. We have a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk for basically the southern half of Alabama and all of northwest Florida, meaning that we could see scattered severe thunderstorms in the overnight hours extending into Tuesday. The better combination of atmospheric ingredients to support severe weather is going to happen across southern Mississippi tonight, really over the next few hours. But as this system moves towards us, there still may be enough instability and enough shear to potentially support a few tornadoes across our local area. And that's why we have this ongoing level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk for everyone across South Alabama and northwest Florida. Now, you may be new to this. It has been a while since we've had a severe weather risk across our local area. And what a level 2 out of 5 risk means is that we're going to see most likely scattered severe thunderstorms. Not everyone on this map is going to have severe weather tonight. Most folks, in fact, will simply have rain and gusty winds as a complex of thunderstorms moves through. But some of us may have a tornado or damaging straight line winds. Now, let's talk about the timing. Storms back in Mississippi and Louisiana now are going to approach the Alabama-Mississippi state line by the time we get to midnight. And I think that 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. is going to be the 12-hour window when strong to severe storms will be most likely to happen across our part of southwest Alabama and northwest Florida. By the time we get to Tuesday afternoon, storms will be to our east. So let's look at how it may happen. This is off the high-res rapid refresh model, and you can see by the time we get to midnight, storms likely going to be near or approaching the Alabama-Mississippi line. By 3 a.m., storms going to be across our local area, and we may see a few severe thunderstorms. Tornadoes, damaging straight-line winds will be the main concern as this batch of thunderstorms moves from west to east across our local area. And keep in mind, this is not going to be a singular linear storm. This is going to be more of a cluster of storms that's fairly wide that moves across our region in the overnight hours. By midnight, again, storms going to be near I-59 or the Alabama-Mississippi state line, coming in here most likely after midnight. And so it's imperative that we all have a way to hear urgent weather warnings before you go to sleep tonight. So have a NOAA weather radio. Be sure to turn it on, make sure the batteries are up to date and that sort of thing. And if you haven't already, check your cell phone. If you have an iPhone, you can go into the Settings app, go to Notifications, scroll to the bottom of that list, and you can turn on those emergency alerts. It's so important that we all have a way to hear warnings as these storms come across our region. Again, we're not expecting numerous tornado warnings, but we may have a situation where we have multiple tornadoes overnight, and if your community or your street happens to be under one of those tornado warnings, it's a big deal. So have a way to hear warnings overnight. Storms going to move across our region Tuesday morning, kicking out of here most likely in the late morning and early afternoon hours. So this could be a fairly long deal, roughly from say 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's going to be the 12-hour window as we get into the overnight hours. Let's look at a few of the parameters. This is called updraft helicity, and that kind of tells us where we're looking at the potential for some spin in the atmosphere. Helicity basically means changing of the wind with height. In other words, as you go up in the atmosphere, the wind direction may be out of the west, whereas down here where we are on the surface of the earth, the wind is out of the south. And so when you get that veering with height, that is important in tornado formation. And we are seeing some of these paths here you can see on this derived product where we could see enough instability and enough shear coming together to support a few tornadoes. If there's one limiting factor with this event, and this is kind of why we're only at a level 2 risk per se, it's this surface-based instability. This is a classic cold season severe weather event, meaning we've got plenty of shear, plenty of wind shear, but we don't have a lot of surface-based instability. That's a good thing. We hope that trend kind of continues, but there is enough instability in the overnight hours here. You can kind of see that tongue of instability from the Gulf to potentially support a few strong to severe thunderstorms. There's that wind shear. This is actually look at the 850 millibar height winds, and you can see those brighter colors to our north. So there's kind of a mismatch here. Greater dynamics to the north, greater thermodynamics to the south. When you get that mismatch, sometimes it prevents tornado formation, and that's what we want to see. Hopefully what happens here is the dynamics kind of lift out a bit sooner than expected, and those storms will move by and not cause much of an issue. But there may be just enough to support a few tornadoes. And so that's why we're at a level 2 out of 5 tornado risk in the overnight hours, extending into Tuesday. Even in the morning, you need to have a way to hear urgent weather warnings after you get up and get at them on Tuesday. Could have damaging straight line winds as well. That's going to be a concern in the overnight hours. And by the way, we've been posting all day in the RedZone Weather app. We'll continue to do that. Check with me in the RedZone Weather app even when we're not live here on Facebook. One good thing that's coming from this severe weather event is the rain. We're going to have a good beneficial rain across our local area, stacking up to about 1 inch in total, maybe even isolated higher amounts up to 1.5 inches of rain for places like Thomasville, parts of western Mobile County. This is the QPF, the quantitative precipitation forecast, telling us how much rain is likely to fall with this passing weather event. Now, it's been quite a while, since June in fact, that we've had a tornado warning in South Alabama and Northwest Florida. And while it's not a guarantee that we'll have tornado warnings overnight, it certainly is a possibility. Maybe you're new to the area, or maybe you know someone who's new to the area. Share this with them. Take a screenshot of this. It's so important that you have a plan and know what to do in case your location goes under a tornado warning. What we advise folks to do is get to the middle part of your house, away from windows, away from doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. You need a tornado helmet, something to protect your head. That will greatly increase your chance of surviving a tornado in case we happen to have a few warnings in the overnight hours. By the way, here's a look at your 7-day outlook. And after we get through today, our weather pattern going to be much more calm as we go into Thanksgiving. Maybe a few showers late in the day on Thursday, extending into Friday morning. Not expecting much rain, but there may be a few splash and dash showers around. Probably not very impactful, to be honest. High is going to be around 58 on Thanksgiving Day. On Friday, highs in the 60s, extending into Saturday as well. If you're headed to Auburn for the Iron Bowl on Saturday, looking like Auburn will have a high right around 60. Here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, we'll have highs in the mid-60s with partly cloudy skies. Be sure to take a jacket if you're headed to the game on Saturday. It's in Auburn at Jordan-Hare Stadium this year as the Tide takes on the Tigers. Looking like we'll have good weather for that game and across much of the Deep South for the other games as well. And on Sunday, high is going to be in the low 60s with plenty of sunshine. So again, tonight, a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk for South Alabama and Northwest Florida. It's been a while since we've had a severe weather risk, so review that plan before you go to sleep. You will have good results if you have a plan. That's what we need to do. Have a severe weather and tornado plan. Know where you would go, know where you would have to get in the middle part of your house, putting as many walls between you and the outside world. It's good to know, good to practice, especially if you have kids. I know it's inconvenient, but if you get a tornado warning, please take action in the overnight hours. Let's go back over to our regional radar view to show you where storms are now. These thunderstorms back over Mississippi have prompted a few tornado warnings that you can see right here at the time we're producing this video south of the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. And these thunderstorms are going to continue to move to the east in the hours ahead. It is imperative that you have a way to get warnings, and be sure to join us here on Facebook Live if we have tornado warnings in the overnight hours for southwest Alabama or northwest Florida, we go live and stay live on Facebook until the threat is over. And so it's been a while since we've had those warnings. We've been quite blessed over the last few months. Even though we've had a drought, the flip side of that, we have not had severe weather. And so going into this season over the next few weeks, where we probably will see more of these events coming, more rain, more severe weather setups, that's kind of the norm this time of year. This is nothing out of the ordinary. We'll be with you every step of the way. On behalf of all of us at RedZone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson saying goodbye for now. Join us on Facebook Live if we have tornado warnings. Hope you have a nice Monday evening.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free RedZone weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our RedZone weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.